This is your basic introductory screen when you come into the SPSS environment. To open a new dataset, if you have one, you can open a file that will be listed down here. If you want to start a new one like we'll be doing, you click on New Dataset. So this is the screen that'll open up then. This is your data view. And then you see here we have each column can be a variable, and each row then will be an individual or whatever your participant is. Then we can come down to the bottom here and go to variable view. This will show you more detailed information about each variable. So you can have the name here, what type of variable it is, a string variable, nominal, not nominal, string variable or numerical. Then the width, decimal places. This label here is super important. This is where you'll put extra information in to remind yourself what the abbreviated name is later when you're working with the same data set. Values are important for categorical data because you'll want to group them. So you might put in here 1 stands for female and 2 stands for male, that type of thing, so that you remember what you coded your variables as. Missing, columns, align, measure, roll. We're not really going to use those very much. Measure you can use to change from nominal, ordinal, or continuous, which in SPSS is listed as a scale. We don't have that option right now. So if you see, I just clicked nominal and it started adding all this information across here. That's creating a new variable. You can also start by typing in the name of a variable. So say here we want to make this variable name. And then we want to put here the first name. And since this is not a numeric variable, since this will be alpha characters, you'll want to come into the screen here. If you go and click this little dotted screen next to it, it'll pop up. You'll want to come and change this to a string variable instead of numeric. Characters, let's say someone has a super long name. You want to make this a little bit longer for that. And then decimals, we don't need any since it'll be a numeric, or not a numeric variable. Then we're going to go back down here and click on data view. And if you see up at the top here, it has the name of the variable, which is name. And then here you can enter in your data. So I'll put my name, friend's name, my husband's name, my cat's. There you go. You get the idea. And then, so this whole row 1 here would be all of my information. So say we had a number of other variables. This whole row would be showing my information. This row would be showing the information for Stacy, this for Jim, etc. Now if we go back to variable view, we can add another variable. Let's try, we can do gender. That one's easy. And then if you type it in here, as you saw before, it creates this whole, inputs a bunch of things. So gender is going to be numeric because we're going to categorize it, but we don't need any decimal places. So we can either click the down button or just type in 0. Here you want to put gender again. And for this, you'll want to input the values. So we can say 1 is female, add, 2 is male, add, and then press OK. And you'll see it shows you up here a little bit of what you're seeing. Then this one, we'll want to change the measure to nominal because you can't be more than one gender at a time, and it's not a continuous variable. Then we'll go back to data view and we'll add the gender in. So here you want to say, okay, so we said 1 was female, so I'm a female, so I'll put 1 for myself, 1 for Stacy, 2, remember, was male, so we'll put in 2, Emma, female, Toby, male. Okay, so now you see that we have numbers here, but those numbers refer to this information we put in here where 1 is equal to female and 2 is equal to male. This just allows us to get an easier count for counts and summarizing the data. So what you can do here, if you want to see the values, is you can right click and then do descriptive statistics, and then it opens the output window, which will tell you we have females, there's 3, which is 60% of the total sample, and males are 2, which is 40% of the total sample. So that's your output window, which will show up any results you make while you're in SPSS. You want to save these files so that you can go back and see if you did anything wrong while you're in SPSS. They're very helpful for you to look for. You don't need to worry about this information up here. This is syntax. We're not going to talk about that in this class. It's a lot more complicated than we need to get into.